Hello everyone, and welcome to Israel in Style, where we give you an inside look at the top Israeli designers with the absolute hottest collections. We are post-Fashion Week here in Tel Aviv, which means we have seen and talked to some of the top Israeli designers with their latest collections. First up this week, we met with one of the most internationally known Israeli fashion designers, who trained in some of the world's most famous fashion houses like Alexander McQueen and Roberto Cavalli. He's even dressed top celebrities from Lady Gaga to Naomi Campbell to the one and only Queen Bee. Let's take a look at our sit-down with Alon Livne. We're here right now with one of Israel's most internationally known designers, Alon Livne. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to hear all about how you started this international brand, all the celebrities that you met.
I started my own business, my own career almost 10 years ago after I made internships all over the world. I worked for Alexander McQueen in London, and I worked for Roberto Cavalli in Florence. I moved here to Neve Tzedek. This is my studio and my flagship.
Studio.
Thank you. And I also have studio in New York. So I split my time, half here, half in US. I started here in Tel Aviv, and after a while I said to myself, okay, I want a little bit more. I want to explore the world. I want to see what can I do. So I went to New York. I showed at New York Fashion Week. Actually, from the very beginning, it was a big sensation. I had all the biggest stylists who came to my show. Beyonce stylists, Lady Gaga, J-Lo, almost everyone. And right after I started dressing Beyonce for her world tour, I dressed Lady Gaga, I dressed the entire Kardashian family.
What is it like designing for some of the top celebrities in America?
I grow on Beyonce's song. I adore Lady Gaga. Naomi Campbell is one of the biggest, I think she's the biggest top model all time.
100%.
And to work with these kind of women, it's amazing.
I recently found out that you were one of the first, if not the first, I believe, Israeli designer to be shown in Paris Fashion Week. What was that like? And what was the vibe there? How did you feel?
It was a big honor for me. I felt very blessed.
Right.
You know, Paris is the biggest place in the world for fashion. It's the dream of every designer to show it in Paris. But eventually I decided to stick in New York. I live in New York in Soho.
Wow.
And it's very inspiring just to walk on the street, just, you know, to go to have coffee with friends.
Right.
Or maybe 10 years from now I'll be in Paris or Milan or maybe Dubai, I don't know.
Wow, dreaming big, I feel that. How would you describe your lines? Like also your bridal and your evening wear, what makes them unique and recognizable as opposed to other designers?
I think if we are talking about my bridal line, it's very feminine, very sexy, but still very chic. It's very important for me to have the sense of fashion in the wedding dress. For my ready-to-wear line, it's a totally different story. It's a little bit more avant-garde, it's fashion-forward, it's different. So here you can see some of my bridal wedding dresses. This is for example one of my favorites. It's all handmade. All the beads, all the lace, all the appliques, all handmade.
Do you have a favorite one from these specific?
I think every collection I have like 5. And
you make 10 and
I have 2 collections every year. This is also one of my favorites. This one. It's very soft, very feminine.
Look at all the little touches.
Everything is handmade, all the beads, the pearls.
They're beautiful. Stunning.
This is a little bit more bohoshy.
Right, I think that's why I got so attracted to it. It's definitely my style. This is beautiful. It's a little bit more also closed, you know, like in the back
it's less sheer.
Right, of course. Amazing. And everything here is handmade.
Everything is handmade.
Everything, that's like your thing.
Every bead, everything. I'll show you some of my
Evening, yeah, of
also.
course.
This is one of my favorite.
Guys,
Also
check.
all handmade, everything. All the embroidery.
Wow. This is beautiful, and this is your evening wear,
Yeah.
which is a little bit more popular in Israel, in America.
I think both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
People wear these like to events and stuff like that here in Israel?
Yeah. More for like matter of the bride, sister of the bride.
Okay.
Special events, red carpet.
My mother better come here before my wedding. I see back there that it's all handmade, all, very, very detailed and delicate and precise. Are you part of that process? Were you part of that process?
I'm not holding the needle
Right.
and thread, but yeah, I'm in charge of everything, every bead, every applique, every fabric, every shape, everything. I'm here for 1 month just to work on the collection to see that everything gets exactly how I want it to be. And it's nice because, I'm like in a tour. I'm going from the embroidery section to the seamstresses section to the pattern making section, and I'm just trying to make everything as I want it to be. And it's fun. I like it.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, no need to say this, but good luck, and I hope you prosper and take over the world.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Alon is such an inspiration for all fashion designers in the Holy Land. His work is unique and absolutely stunning. What celebrity wouldn't want to strut her stuff in his designs? I know I would. And he is not the only worldwide known designer. What I absolutely adore about this show and my job is that we get to meet the most insanely talented designers, ranging from old school to as current as it gets. Up next, I had the chance to sit down with Denis Peleg, the only designer in the world right now creating and printing her designs all on a 3D printer. We're here right now with Chinkal graduate Denis Peleg, who is one of the only designers right now in the world using 3D printing for her designs. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Okay, so why don't we just get started really quick and kind of tell everybody what exactly it is you do and how you got involved in 3D printing.
So I studied fashion design at Chinkal, which is a university in the border between Tel Aviv and Ramat Gan, and one of the best fashion schools in the world,
Right.
actually. And then while I was a student, I realized I really love to make my own textiles. And I love to be part of the whole production of my garment process. And then I got to do my thesis project, and I decided to research about 3D printing.
So you researched about 3D printing and found out that nobody else does it in the world, and then that made you almost want to do it even more. So how does it work? How does the 3D printer work? Do you create the designs on the computer? What is it? What's the process like?
Yeah, so the whole process is happening on the computer. So the only thing I actually need in order to create a full collection from my apartment here in Tel Aviv was myself, a computer, and a printer. And I felt so much freedom when I could just do the design of the garment on my computer, see a simulation before I actually make the actual, sample or the sketch of the garment, and then send to print.
Right.
So I can see and I can do all the changes even before I actually make the actual garment.
Because you see it on the computer, so it's like if you want to tweak anything, you want to change everything, it's all before you even print it.
Exactly. When I worked on my first collection, it was like experiment, and it took me 2,000 hours to create a full collection.
2,000 hours?
Yes.
Wow.
So it was around
Okay.
300 hours for one dress. But now I can actually do it in 100 hours in just a year later. So I think it shows us that this technology evolved
Right.
really fast.
I wanted to create a ready-to-wear collection printed entirely at home, using printers that anyone can get. I've spent the past year searching for the best solution. I worked with leading experts in the field.
shooted this video and we put it on Facebook, and it's got 5 million views in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
It went completely viral. Now there is probably like 7 million or so. And that's what leads me to, you know, to the curiosity of, you know, the press, and then from all these conferences who want to learn about my, you know, my workflow and my recipe and my vision about how I see the future of fashion. So now I get to talk a lot.
Now you get to teach other students, other fashion students around the world, like what it is, and don't be afraid not to be touching the material itself, to learn to like trust the new technologies that are out there.
And also the lessons I learned from how important it is to share, because most of the time or sometimes students are so scared to be like copied, or they're afraid to like put their ideas online because they don't want anyone else to take it. But on the other hand, you get so much benefits when you actually share and you open with your ideas, and you get a lot of benefits, you know,
from sharing
that.
And feedback. What's
exactly.
Yes,
and even if someone will do something like me, I will learn from them, you know. And this is how this technology or the world should move, you know, because we're learning from each other. There is nothing we can do, you know, beside embrace it, you know.
So what about internationally? Like, how have you felt that you've been like accepted internationally? How does that work?
So I have an amazing experience. In the past year and a half, I got a chance to, you know, share my knowledge and everything I learned, and teach more people, and like, you know, maybe even push this technology farther, because there is such a lack of like information, and sometimes people are even like scared out of 3D printers. So I'm really happy I got to this position to speak at TED, for example, in New York, and having more than 1 million of people watching my TED Talk, and translate it to 40 different languages. So it also shows me that people want to learn about this topic. They find it fascinating, and the fashion has to, you know, fashion is constant change all the time, and it's could be one of the, you know, revolutions that happen in this industry. So it's very interesting too.
And you've gotten a lot of attention though internationally. New York Times, a lot of people have been writing about you. And what's that like? What is that feeling like? You know, you graduated almost 2 years ago, right? Something like that, a year and a half ago. A year and a half out of school, and you've gotten all this attention. What is that like for you?
So at the beginning it was overwhelming, but on the other hand it was like amazing, and it was like a blast, and I still feel like I'm kind of like living my dream, because I can continue doing my creations and even like give value to this industry, which is really hard, because probably like every fashion designer know how hard it is to be like innovative in this industry.
Be different and new, because fashion has been around for years.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do you make something that's never been created before? And you literally found something that's never been created before, never been tried or tested or done on a runway. What is that like, creating something and seeing it walk down the runway?
It's amazing. This is why we're working so hard. Because then you have this minute and a half of the
women
models walking with your designs, and see their comments and the way they're like enjoying wearing these outfits, because it's like something, it's different than anything else you ever been worn before. But it is very soft and it feels actually very nice on the body. So to see their reaction and their excitement before they actually runway and then they rock it, it's like always a fun thing to see.
So why don't we check out some of your designs, and maybe you could try something on.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're standing here. Are these the prototypes? Are these what the models wear? What is going on here?
This is a part of the first collection. Some of the items are now in like different museums and conferences. So you see very little from the first collection and some designs from the second collection. This is the actual dresses that the models are wearing for the shows.
Right.
And this dress, for example, was presented in Rio 2016 at the Paralympic opening ceremony.
Wow.
So the dancer, she was dancing with her double amputee. She's a double amputee, and she was dancing with a robot, wearing a dress that's made by a robot, because 3D printer is also
Wow.
sort of a robot.
That's amazing.
And it was all about the connection between humans and technology, which I think the Paralympic is anyway mostly about.
Right.
So this is the shoes I made for the first collection for the models. It's made from hard material. The heel is more solid and the flexible straps. So it's two different materials.
It looks so delicate, and you're just like squeezing it like this.
No,
as if it's not
it's
gonna break.
very strong, yeah.
And the models wore these on the runway.
The models wore them, I think, like 70 times this,
Wow,
this
wow,
year.
wow.
Like it's been worn the shoes for the runway, and they loved it. The models, they actually really enjoyed wearing the shoes.
So I basically already pre-ordered the baby pink bomber jacket, and after all, there are only going to be 100 available. Trust me when I tell you, Denis is on her way to being one of the top designers ever. She's unique, she's innovative, and absolutely adorable. So first off, for those of you who missed our Gindi TLV Fashion Week episode, definitely go check that out on iltv.tv/IsraelInStyle. But in the meantime, let's take a look at our main news anchor, Natasha Kirchuk's sit down with Motty Reif to hear all about why he started Fashion Week.
I'm here with Motty Reif, one of the leading producers in the fashion industry, and we're so excited to sit down with you. I would like to ask you about what made you decide to get into fashion.
My mom used to do her own clothes, and since I'm a kid, I was her stylist. I had to say what is good, what is wrong. And then I think it started as a model when I was very young. So from modeling, very, very short time, it went to production.
What is your first memory of when your passion for fashion and styling came out?
I must admit, I don't care about fashion. On myself, I'm very, very casual person in my clothing. I do love art, and I see fashion as art. That's what I love. I love, production. So I love, like mega production. So that's why I combine my world, the production world with fashion. As a model, I participate in the last Fashion Week then.
And then you
Brought
recreated
it
Fashion
back
Week
5
in
years
2000.
ago. But I must say that those days when I started, many buyers in the 70s and 80s arrived to Israel to buy here before the internet. So there was a break of like 25 years that nothing happened, but in the late 70s and 80s, many Israeli companies worked very good outside of Israel.
How did you end up bringing Fashion Week back to Israel?
When you live outside of Israel and you read all the press about Israel, it's all about violence, all about the relationship. Fashion people doesn't care about anything besides fashion. They don't care about the politics situation. So I said that if we succeed to bring 40 journalists to cover the Israeli fashion design, that was my goal. So it started from that. And then first year we brought 120 journalists. This is the 5th year. Until now we brought hundreds of journalists. I'm not talking about buyers today. And it's all in the beginning.
So has BDS and the BDS movement in any way affected putting together Fashion Week in Israel?
I want to tell you that until today, as I told you, hundreds of journalists arrived. None of them mentioned the political situation. None of them, even one, never asked about it, never cared about it. And for us, for me personally, it was like a huge success.
Do you think that the Israeli government should in any way get involved in this? Because like you said, it is promoting a positive image of Israel internationally.
I wish. Right now, they help me, bring, the tourism and the foreign office helping me bringing journalists, buyers, the Import Institute also helping me, the City Hall is helping me bringing, those people, but they are not just, the budget of making this happen is millions. So it's very difficult every year to start from scratch.
And now we're seeing a lot of big international brands making their way to Israel. If it's Mango, Zara, how is that having an impact on the Israeli fashion industry?
So I don't think this is only an Israeli problem. People want to buy cheap, but yes, if you want to buy something special, if you want to be unique, if you want to be, so yes, you will go to buy a designer outfit, not just in Israel, I think it's around the world. I believe that there is a place for those young designers that are bringing something new.
It's all about showing the world what Israel has to offer. Fabulous designers, unique collections, amazing food for those who haven't visited, and obviously the world's nicest beaches. Summer is coming up, people, and it's no surprise we here at the Holy Land have the hottest bathing suit designers in the game. Trust me, you will not want to miss out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Israel in Style. Make sure you watch every week for new designers with their newer collections. Have a fabulous week. Bye.